back to North Carolina for the Hawks and the Canes. We'll take a look at the Ford goaltending matchup tonight. We told you a little bit about Corey Crawford, who tonight makes the 50th appearance of the year, going for his 30th win this season. Those numbers for save percentage and goals against, both in the top 10 in the National Hockey League. And at the other end, Anton Khudobin will be playing for his 5th consecutive game. Now, in the last 6 appearances he's had, he got 1 win, 1-3-2, 18 goals against in those 6 games. But he's playing his 5th in a row, in part because Cam Ward hasn't been feeling that well lately, so a little bit under the weather. And Khudobin back in the goal tonight for Bill Peters behind the Carolina bench. A long shot, Gerby as we get underway, sticked away Crawford. Rebound cleared to the boards, and Vestrashil unable to pick it up. Hawks get it back the other way. Justin Falk turned it over to Duncan Keith. Now Taves put the pass outside the zone. Hawks need to regroup.
And this first period is brought to you by Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers. We'd like to welcome those viewers watching in on CSN Philly and the NHL Network.
Now Rosabal, as the Hawks changing on the go. Oduya steps forward and dumped it. Hainsey squeezed to the corner. They maintained control, then Rask had a problem, and puck bounced around, and Vermette checked by Hainsey. Hossa corrals. And after the 4-0 loss in Big D the other night, Coach Q, as it often happens, has certainly jumbled up his line combos that Eddie mentioned earlier on. It's Vermette, Sharp, and Hossa to start the game. They're out there now. Antoine Vermette with a chip and chase. And Michael Lyles gets back. Lost it to Sharp, but he put it around the boards, and now Shaw stepped into Lindholm aggressively, but the Canes come out, and Elias Lindholm tied up at center, penalty coming up to the Hawks.
Kruger got that free hand right around Lindholm and right through the middle of the ice. A quick little move to the backhand, and one of the Hawks' better penalty killers gets called for the reach around there. The stick got caught in the waist of Lindholm. Right call made. Early power play coming for the Canes.
Well, the Hawks yielding 2 power play goals to Dallas the other night. They were 2 out of 3, and the Hawks have yielded 3 out of the last 11 to be converted against what has been season-long a real good PK team. Off the draw, Murphy to the middle. Put it to Skinner. The pass a little off the mark, and the Canes will have to chase back.
Yeah, one bad pass there by Murphy. Just the whole power play blows up right there. In fact, you mentioned that power play the other night in Dallas when the Stars had it on a string the other night. I mean, they were moving around, had great support, not very predictable. And we're rewarded with a real strong performance with the man advantage.
Well, Jordan Staal spins around. And the Canes look to get organized from their own end. Skinner moves ahead. Here comes Jordan Staal. He gets the line. Now dropped it back. Here's Murphy. Going over to the boards. Skinner back to Murphy, the long blast. He missed the net. Rebound, bounce to the boards. Skinner able to keep it in. Murphy goes the other way. Here's the centering pass. Broken up. Oduya with a good stick. Jordan Staal back to the boards. Terry is checked, but Skinner kept it in. Now here's a one-timer blocked by Hjalmarsson. Off the stick of Falk, who gets it back. The leading scorer for the Canes is this D-man Falk. He put it in behind. Oduya there, the other 27, with time to take a look.
Could be a high stick here. Face-off whistle will blow, and the face-off will be right to the left of Antoine Khudobin. And you mentioned Justin Falk, one of the offensive pillars for the Carolina Hurricanes. Member of Team USA last year, teammate of Patrick Kane for the U.S. at the Olympics in Sochi.
One of the many real promising youngsters here at Eddie, and we'll talk about several of them as the game goes on. This guy just turned 23 the other day, so they figure he ought to be a mainstay for many, many years to come here with the Canes.
He has that ability to turn in that 2-on-2 into a 3-on-2 with a skill level.
He gets the line here. Falk then spins it back. Here's a long shot, not getting to the net. What finally did, Crawford able to maintain vision, and the puck cleared the other way. That's going to finish the Carolina power play as they get back in, but offside, as Stahl took a little extra time before reaching the line. A reminder, as you enjoy a Coleman, look forward to Miller time later in the game tonight. That'll be brought to you by Miller Lite.
A couple of good shot blocks on that penalty kill for the Blackhawks. Nicholas Hjalmarsson right in the middle of a couple of them. And that Carolina power play looking to try to set up out high there, Pat, and really never tried to attack down low, and the Blackhawks were able to take away that attack by getting into shooting lanes, and really no second chance opportunity on Corey Crawford.
By the way, you can see the AT&T Uber starting lines. That'll be at the top of your screen. We mentioned Coach Q has mixed a few groupings up. Here's Versteeg able to clear it to center, looking for Bickley. Trouble maintaining his skates. And now the Canes get in. Eric Stahl, a shot. Good save by Crawford. Rebound taken by Bickle. Able to clear it to the feet of Versteeg. And now Jordan for Carolina. Cleared it ahead. They dump it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Stahl was looking for Jordan coming on that weak side or not, but Corey Crawford was very deep in his net and thankfully was able to kick that rebound out. And that was an odd man situation. As you mentioned, Pat, Brian Bickle had a tough time through the middle of the ice. The next thing you know, it's a bang-bang play. I mean, lots of red jerseys coming the other way. A 4-on-2. There's Stahl, and yeah, that was a shot on goal. He might have looked to his right, camera left here. Jordan jumped in from the back end and was looking for any kind of an opportunity.
Here's the draw. Gerby looks to center. Here's a shot by McClement. That didn't seem to get all the way there, and the Hawks able to get it out. Jordan put it back to the Chicago ice. Kimmo Timonen coming off a 13-minute game. We had 3 shots in Dallas the other night. Now Jordan back. And Patrick Dwyer rolled it out to center. McClement turned it over to Seabrook. Timonen in his 9th straight game for the Hawks sends Seabrook out of the zone. Hainsey. Pass deflecting, but Skinner picked it up, and now the Canes will dump it.
Crazy Karam there in behind Hudobin as the puck was shot in by Brent Seabrook. He took a real crazy Karam, and Hudobin stayed home there. Something to keep an eye on.
Teuvo Teravainen, who's paired up with Taves and Saad to open the game tonight. And here's Taves into the zone. Saad chasing in. Able to pick up the puck. Then a long shot and a save. Hudobin on the bid from Roosevelt.
Riley Nash's stick is stuck right in the boards there, Pat. Right with the Zamboni. Looks like a tollway. You're going down a tollway there. You got to pay a toll to get by it. Just sticking right out like a gate.
Get your quarters ready.
Oh, yeah, dollars now.
Here's the centering pass from Saad. Picked off Hudobin, and he's able to cover it up.
You got any change?
It's early and scoreless in Carolina.
Forecheck and Riley Nash, 20 and red. Watch his stick. It's going to get lodged right into the boards there. Just lets it go, and not sure if Justin Falk got flagged there for going through the toll booth there, but you see it's stuck in the thing. It's $1.90, Mr. Falk.
By the way, haven't identified the officials. There's Paul Dvorsky paired up tonight with Dean Morton, and Devo nearing the end of a spectacular NHL officiating career. Linesmen tonight, Amell and Miller. But early in the game tonight, good for the Hurricanes. They showed Dvorsky on the big screen here and had a graphic up there indicating this will be his last game in the PNC Arena. And I don't know if he knew this picture was up there. Probably not, but an official actually got cheered. So good for Devo. And
first time and last time.
Yeah, right. Hope he enjoyed it. But great guy. And actually, I know he's coming back into the United Center in a relatively short period of time. So I'll also get a chance to say goodbye to a great guy in the next couple of weeks. This is Icing Chicago.
Well, fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group Seats auction. For more info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Victor Rask and Brad Richards. Well, not anymore. Richards gets pitched. Or at least that was the indication from linesman Amell, but he allows him to stay. And here's the draw. Versteeg able to jam it back to center. Now it's Seabrook. Hawks not liking the matchup. Go to change the forward line. Now they're able to dump it in. Khudobin put it to the corner. Nordstrom there. Then Kruger looks to center. That's picked off by Eric Stahl. And Murphy chipped it deep. Now the Canes go to change. So the chess match between Bill Peters and Joel Quenneville in evidence early. Hawks get in. Here's a wrist shot wide from Kruger. And the Canes able to get it out. Marcus Kruger quickly back into the zone. Dropped it to Andrew Shaw, who shoots well wide. Keith kept it in. Now Shaw from the corner. Checked by McClement. Kruger got in, then Sharp. His pass tipped to Roosevelt. A long flipper, never got to the net. Back of the goal. Here's Kruger centering to Shaw. He scores! Andrew Shaw set up beautifully by Marcus Kruger from in behind. Shaw wide open, point blank, and the Hawks are in front.
Well, a turnover by Eric Stahl in the middle of the ice allowed the Blackhawks to sustain a little bit of pressure. Michael Roosevelt keeps the play alive at the blue line. And look at how much time Marcus Kruger has in behind the net. Sharp throws it to him. He stays right there. Nobody goes to him. And he's able to make that pass right past Nesterstill. And no chance for Khudobin as Andrew Shaw one-times the puck, and that's the key. He doesn't get it. He doesn't dust it off and give the goaltender to maybe an opportunity to come out and cut down the angle. He one-times that puck, catches the goaltender in between. Beautiful play all the way around from Roosevelt to Sharp to Kruger to Shaw. And the Hawks with a 1-0 lead.
So Andrew Shaw with his 11th of the season. And the Hawks able to strike first. And I think you saw that's the 40th time in the 72 Hawks games they've been able to get the first goal of the night. As this puck deflecting up over the glass and out of play.
Hey, Pat, I got a belated happy birthday wish to Kelly Joniak, who turned 17 years of age yesterday. A big Blackhawk fan and a big Jonathan Toews fan, so hopefully she enjoyed her day yesterday and enjoying the game here tonight.
Speaking of belated birthdays, our great friend, the fabulous Brett Feather, celebrated a birthday on Saturday, so
looking good for 75.
He said that, Brett. So our good friend from Anheuser-Busch is celebrating another year gone by. As Seabrook lines it around the boards. Paravainen unable to pry it loose. Strash will put it in behind. There's Jordan Stahl. Looking for somewhere to go. Rolled it back. Falk a long shot. Crawford to save. No rebound with a couple of red sweaters lurking. They got no second chance.
Watch where this shot comes from Falk. It comes from the blue line, but watch Carolina. Watch the Canes right by Corey Crawford. When this shot comes, got one player on one side and one on the other. Pretty simple play, and Crawford's able to see it. Nobody's standing in his way, and it makes it to be an easy save. Nesterstill pushing off Brent Seabrook. They're not a bad play, but a very convenient play for Corey Crawford and the Blackhawks that nobody was standing right in front of the net, and kind of stopped that 110% of the time of the shot from Falk.
Eric Stahl working the end boards. Jammed loose to Sharp. He goes across for Hossa. Hjalmarsson followed up, rolled it to Hossa into the zone. Sharp to the net. Here's the pass. Tip. They score! What a play! Sharp busting up the middle. Hossa spotted that. Perfect pass right to the tape. 2-0 Chicago.
Well, the play is made in the middle of the ice, right in here. This is Nicholas Hjalmarsson. He's a defenseman. He jumps into the play, finds his puck, and throws it rink wide right to Marian Hossa. And Patrick Sharp drives the center of the net and beats Anton Khudobin off a beautiful little redirect. But Nicholas Hjalmarsson wasn't standing back in his own zone as that play was moving up. He got up ice, got to the puck, knew what his outlets were, and threw that puck into an area to allow Marian Hossa to put that perfect pass on the tape of Patrick Sharp.
Dwyer left the puck in behind the net. It's jammed back to Lyles. McClement able to keep it in, centering feet, but Dwyer was in too deep. Here's a quick shot, McClement. And I think Crawford got a piece for the blocker. Rebound. Bickle was unable to get it out. Now Seabrook had a rolling puck. McClement kept it in. Seabrook took some contact. McClement jammed it loose. There's Terry in behind, looking to set up and hit the back of the net. And Versteeg failed to get it past Dwyer.
Good help there from Bickle to bail out Versteeg after the giveaways you mentioned. Best shift of the game for Carolina right here by their fourth line.
So Crawford wisely taking a whistle. We've gotten to the halfway point of the first period. Blackhawks get 2 goals in about a minute and a half. The first from Andrew Shaw is 11th. The second from the sharpshooter is 13th.
You can follow Tracy Myers, our Blackhawks insider, all season long on CSNChicago.com. Presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Click JeffVuk.com. That's click JeffVuk.com. Nationwide, yes, is on your side.
Eddie, we mentioned that Patrick Sharp, with that goal, has 13 now this year. Better news for the Hawks. That's 3 in the last 5 games. And we've talked about a lot. Over his NHL time with the Blackhawks, he's been a streak scorer. When he gets hot, he can get red hot. He really hasn't had a good long run yet this year. But what a time for that to start happening with the playoffs just a couple of weeks away. Here's Shaw with a wraparound. Just came wide of an near post. Kruger gets it back. Marcus Kruger fighting his way in behind. Then it's taken away, and the Canes Nash able to get it out. Skinner is checked by Oduya. Skinner gets it back. Battles to the middle. The puck escaped him. And then Nash unable to hold in a roller. Oh, and a big hit as Nash dumped it. He was just drilled to the boards by Nordstrom and Shaw. Then a couple of Canes get into the neighborhood.
Yeah, Shaw's got to be careful there. He's already on the bench. Nordstrom and Shaw came together, and neither referee had the arm up. And a good job there by Blackhawk assistant coach Kevin Dineen for grabbing Shaw by the jersey and making sure that he did not get involved from the bench. It was Riley Nash that took the hit, could not keep the play in, and there you see the hit and the push from Nordstrom. When you're a player in that situation as Nash bat, you see Nordstrom here. You don't realize that Shaw is there, so the element of surprise is you're bracing yourself for a push, and all of a sudden then you get drilled like that. Good to see Nash get up, and no penalties anywhere.
Falk tried a long one. Taves, though, blocked it. And he's able to jam the puck loose. Saad's pass picked up finally by Teravainen. He was checked, but got it to Roosevelt up on the play. Dropped it in front to Keith, who waits. And now they'll get reset. Duncan Keith, a long flip shot, fought off Khudobin, rebound, that just missed the far post. And it's picked up by Jordan Staal, clearing the zone.
Good net front presence there from the Hawks. Thought Keith had a great chance to shoot the puck, but he held on, and then Taves missed with that opportunity with Saad standing to Khudobin's left and Taves to his right.
Now deep in the Hurricane end. Sharp works his way to the corner. Hossa there. He's checked, left it on the boards, and Lindholm got help to clear the Carolina end. 2-0 Chicago with 8 minutes to go in the first period. Hawks have been credited at this point with only 3 shots, but 2 have gone in. Canes have been credited up till now with 5. Oduya rings it around. Hossa.
Just my quick math. That's not going to be good for the save percentage, partner.
Attaboy. You can put your shoes back on. Here's Hossa, able to shield it beautifully. A long shot. Vermette kicked aside. Hudobin. And the clear held in by Seabrook. Vermette out of the corner. Sharp now. Looks back towards Vermette. And the puck winds up back in the neutral area.
Good effort by Vermette as that puck went by him. He tried to get that puck back to Kimmo Timonen and unfortunately just put it outside the zone.
Richards back into Versteeg. He drives and shoots. And a arm save made by Hudobin. Rebound picked up by the home side. And here comes Falk. He can go, and he's got it into the zone. Here's a shot and a save by Crawford. He kicked the puck past 2 oncoming Hurricanes, and back comes Richards. Clears it ahead for Bickle, looking to lower the shoulder, but he could not get all the way to the net. Nice play defensively by the Canes. McClement. Here's Keith to Versteeg. The return pass picked off. Good stick by Dwyer. And now the Hurricanes. Biega rolled it into the Hawk zone. Here's a long shot by Terry, gloved easily by Crawford. Another long one that he had a good look at.
Well, the second 4-on-2 for the Carolina Hurricanes in this first period. But before that, the net front presence for the Hawks. And from our weather tech, Robo Cam, Ducky Keith should have shot the puck. He did, and he waited, but look at the front of the net. Taves is battling hard. Saad is there looking for a rebound, and Taves just misses the right post. But the Blackhawks certainly want to clean up that area. Pat Falk with that last rush, 4-on-2, second time this first period. Those are things you want to eliminate.
Now the Canes able to get only as far as center as a good jolt delivered by Shaw. Then he takes the puck away from Nash. He'll have to turn back around. Here's Murphy for Carolina. Ryan Murphy's long feed finds Jeff Skinner trying to catch the Hawks in a change, but Crawford had a good look at a long shot. Now Skinner gets it back. His pass picked off. And out comes Saad. Brandon Saad trying to get away from Hainsey. That didn't work out. And Timonen will crank it back in. Falk cleared it to the boards. Here come the Canes. Jordan Stahl gets the line. Dropped it back. Hainsey knocked down by Taves before he could pull the trigger. And the Hawks get it out of there. Saad for Taves. Looking for his 500th NHL point. Not that time against Jordan Stahl, who was picked one spot ahead of him in the NHL draft a few years back. Here's a long shot. Gerby. Oh, that did miss by a lot. Canes keep it in. But a steal here by Sharp. Looks ahead for Hossa. Sharp busted to the net. Hossa going to maybe try again. He shoots. And a save by Hudobin. Rebound picked up by the Canes. 3-on-3 the other way. Gerby looking ahead, but a play broken up by the Hawks D. Roosevelt, or Oduya rather, and the puck taken by Sharp to the other end. Arister goes wide. And now Lyles was stopped in the neutral area. Here's Biega playing in just his third ever NHL game. Danny Biega, who matriculated at Harvard for 4 seasons. He's going to face the Hawks rush. Here comes Bickle. Shoots one way up high and wide.
The puck rolled on Bickle just right before he let it go. Biega's got I think a brother with the Vancouver Canucks system and got a brother that's playing his college hockey at Merrimack. That's the closest I'll ever get to Harvard, saying his name there. Now my brother Ricky, that's a different story.
The counselor,
yeah, a Brown guy in Cornell Law School, so
well,
only can dream about it.
You got the looks, he got the brains. Is that what you're telling me?
All right. Few screws loose too.
A whistle with 3.5 to go in the first, and the visitors are up 2 here in Carolina.
Well, Blackhawk fans, get in the game. Register for your chance to win a 2-year lease on a new Lexus NX 200T. Visit www.chicagoblackhawks.com/Lexus for complete details. A little unique situation here where the backup goaltender Scott Darling surrounded by Jeff Thomas, the great assistant medical man, also Brian Higgins, the head of security for the Blackhawks. This is his vantage point, not allowed to sit on the bench. That's a whole lot of human, too, to try to fit on that bench there. So it's a good thing that Scotty Darling's over on the other side there.
Well, the Blackhawks, their last 10 games of the season, only 2 sets of back-to-back games scheduled. We'll see how the goaltending rotation plays out. But the way things set up now, it would appear that he might only get 2 more regular season chances to work an NHL game for Scott Darling.
I'm sure he wants to get back in there considering his last game that he played.
Oh, terrific.
His first NHL shutout at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers.
Saad around to check right into the back, and the puck just escaped him as he blew by a check, and it got away from him. Here's Saad setting for Taves. Save Hudobin, and the rebound taken by the Canes.
Oh, remember that save. What a shift for Saad, and what a stop there from Hudobin on Taves.
Now Rask had his pass go all the way back the other way. We'll take another look at that great setup by Brandon Saad to the Hawks captain, who came within seemingly inches of his 500th NHL point. And now it deflects over the glass, out of play, so we can look back.
Well, what a shift for Brandon Saad and Jonathan Taves from our Xfinity telestrator. Watch the effort right here from Brandon Saad. This puck came awfully close to the goal line here, Pat. The opportunity for Jonathan Taves. The Hawks stay right with it. The wraparound chance, right part of your screen there, right there. Taves puts that puck towards the net. Play continued. And now both Saad and Taves going to school up on Jumbotron there, and they are taking a look at this. The headset is going on right now on referee Paul Dvorsky. So no call on the ice. No call on the ice, and have to have clear evidence, conclusive evidence that puck completely crossed the goal line on a quick bang-bang play. I mean, Hudobin did a heck of a job there, moving quickly right to left to make that stop.
So again, any close call will be looked at again in the war room in Toronto. And one of the things they'll look at is the overhead, and now we get a chance to take a peek ourselves.
Boy, very, very close there. Certainly the pad of Hudobin was across the goal line. But does the puck completely cross the goal line? Can we see that? Can the National Hockey League see that puck go all the way across?
Well, they've made their determination in Toronto.
No goal, the puck never crossed the line.
I think you could maybe hear Paul Dvorsky's voice. They did confirm the puck did not, it's got to go all the way across. And they ruled that did not happen with the looks that they had in the war room. So it remains a 2-0 count with 2 minutes left in the first. Lyles rolled it deep. Here comes Keith with time to take a look. Flipped a long pass. Kruger chipped it in on Lyles. Semin moved it ahead to Skinner. Jeff Skinner trying to beat Roosevelt. That didn't work. And Shaw put it back the other way. Viega rolled it to the boards. It winds up with Hjalmarsson. Here comes Nordstrom looking to drive to go lower to shoulder with a backhand shot. Save Hudobin. Rebound and a save. Hudobin on Vermette, who came on a change. Now Viega bothered by Vermette in the corner. And the Canes able to get it back. Nash settles things down, then they're able to clear their zone. Oduya, who in his last 4 games have been a +4. Johnny O dumping this in. Final minute now of the opening frame. Lindholm flipped it ahead. Rask unable to make anything happen because of a great back check by Sharp. Now Falk goes across the ice. Lindholm gets the line with a ring around. Vermette and Rask get together. Eric Staal's in deep. Hjalmarsson knocked it away to Rask, who put it out to the line. Hainsey sends it in behind. Staal got away from a check, walked in front, shoots. Shoulder save by Crawford. Rebound. Back to Falk with a blast. Oh, good stop. Crawford in traffic. Rebound to Hainsey in the corner. Good sequence for the Canes. They have Staal looking to center. Hit the side of the net. Crawford reaching. Couldn't pick it up. Now it's taken by Hossa as the period will come to an end. There have only been 2 times in the period, Eddie, that the Canes were able to generate some sustained pressure. But the second time just happened at the end of the period.
Yeah. Couple of good plays there from Eric Staal. The big shot from Falk. But again, Pat, I mean, nobody's standing in front of the net, but Corey Crawford, he's going to make that save. Great patience there from Eric Staal in behind the net. The shot will come out. Easy save there for Crawford. Probably a little bit too big of a rebound to his liking, but the Hawks were able to dodge that second best shift of the period for Carolina. The other one was by the fourth line, probably about 4 or 5 minutes ago.
Canes finished with 10 shots in the opening period. The Hawks had 9, but goals from Andrew Shaw and then Patrick Sharp off a great Hossa setup. Those happened 79 seconds apart. And the Hawks with a 2-goal lead.
Well, time now, partner, for our Kia drive to the net. On this day in hockey history, back on March the 23rd, 1994. A great year. The LA Kings' Wayne Gretzky scored career goal number 802 to break Gordie Howe's record all-time NHL goals. The record became in his 15th NHL season as the Kings lost 6-3 to the Vancouver Canucks at the old LA Forum, which was right across the street from Hollywood Park, which is not there anymore. The great one finished his career with 894 career goals.
Well, the Blackhawks with a very, very solid opening 20 minutes tonight. Trying to even up their home and road win totals. Hawks have 43 wins entering play, 22 at home, 21 so far on the road. You see what Coach Q has done since taking over behind the Blackhawks bench. Quenneville tonight going for 750th win as an NHL coach. That man, Bill Peters, in his first year behind an NHL bench, he's going for his 27th career victory. But a fine young coach, very promising, and figures to be here. We talked about the Canes and a rebuild mold, and a lot of young players here. They're trying to find their way, learn the ropes, and they're doing it in the best league in the world. So it's at times not been pretty here in Carolina, but Bill Peters, a very well thought of young coach who was in the Blackhawks system for several seasons.
Yeah, coached down in Rockford and got some great help on the bench. Former Blackhawk defenseman Steve Smith and also Rod Brindamore, a part of the coaching staff for Carolina.
Nathan Gerby working the corners. We're underway here in the second. It's back at the line. Falk along wrister. Crawford stopped it. Keith picked it up and hacked it loose. Teravainen was checked right away at center.
Well, Falk's had a couple of good looks from the back end. That last one there was some net front presence, a screen in front of the net, and a good save from Crawford.
Good stick again, Hjalmarsson. Oduya had it, lost it, and now here's the stuff at Rask. Save by Crawford. Rebound taken by the Canes. Here's Rask to the middle, quick shot. Crawford stopped that, and the puck is picked up by Sharp.
Good play from Oduya.
Now Vermette chipped it in as the Hawks complete a change.
And the second period is brought to you by Chevy and ChevyDriveChicago.com. And I'd like to welcome again those viewers watching on CSN Philly and the NHL Network.
As the Canes change, Seabrook starts the visitors back. Kruger gets the line. Put it across. Shaw, a long shot. That floats up high. And now the Canes start away. Riley Nash chipped it in. Crawford's going to turn this over. Oh, it jumped away from Skinner, however, and the puck winds up back at center. Ryan Murphy sends it the other way, then has it again. Skinner into the zone. Not help on the boards. Semin got away from Bickle. He drives center. Here's a chance. Big save by Crawford. Great maneuver by Semin to set the table. He's got it back in behind. Threw it in front. Here's Skinner. Shot blocked. Dribbling to Crawford, who covers it up. Well, a pretty good start for the home side here in the second.
I think Timonen got that last shot block there, Pat. And high fives all around for Timonen from Crawford, from Seabrook. Tap on the backside there from Jonathan Toews. And what a shift. And you called it. I mean, the pass from Alex Semin all the way over. And that just started the whole play. I think it was Lyles that had jumped into the play and got the chance right there. Crawford, little help there from Seabrook as well. Crawford's out. It's a mad scramble now. And watch in front of the net. There's Skinner, and then the shot blocked by Kimmo Timonen as Crawford's able to absorb it and get a whistle.
Falk gave it right to Toews, and the Hawks will get out. Here comes Teravainen. His pass was intended for Toews, who had pulled up. So Jordan Staal cleared it to Nathan Gerbe. Rolled it ahead. Dwyer, a long backhander, easily gloved by Corey Crawford.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, Cactus League action returns on Comcast Sportsnet as the White Sox face off against the Colorado Rockies. Don't miss the first pitch at 3 o'clock on CSN Chicago. Brought to you by Apt Electronics. Our great friend Steve Shapiro. Call him. Tell him we sent you. ABT Electronics and Appliances and more. Apt Electronics.
And Terry poked it loose. A bank pass finds Murphy up on the play, but a good stick, Roosevelt. And Shaw takes over. Flip that had just missing Nordstrom, and the Hawks had a 2-on-1. Instead, it's going to be icing Chicago.
Carolina with a little bit of a pushback here. Start the second period. Out shooting the Blackhawks in this game 15-9. But a little bit more consistent play in the offensive zone here to start the second, as there was in the first.
All right, now the Canes. Eric Staal gets in. Pass picked out of the air beautifully by the stick of Keith. Eric Staal gets it back. Tried a shot. Blocked Roosevelt to Shaw. He hoists it to center. And nobody could put a fork in that bouncer right away. Finally, Lyles does a long feed. Stahl's going to get in. Eric Staal right to the net. Backhand save. Crawford rebound. They score. Following up was Victor Rask, and he picked up the rebound. And the Canes, who had a good start here in the second, have cut the Hawks' lead in half.
A bad change by the Blackhawks. When the puck is just inside the offensive zone, the puck is in this area here. You can't be going for a change. And watch what happens. It opens up all the ice. Staal gets in behind Duncan Keith. Beautiful save there from Crawford, but second chance opportunity as Rask comes in and picks up the loose change. That long change in the second period. You're better off. I know you might be dead tired, but you're better off to just sit there and deny anybody from trying to pass the puck through the middle of the ice.
Ryan Bickle, who stopped at center. Back come the Canes. Little stop and go move. Skinner right in. Good save. Proper rebound high to the air. And attack just wide. Skinner's got it again. Rolled it back to the line. Here's Murphy. Pounds it in deep. Semin couldn't get it through Oduya. Now Skinner again. Dropped it back. Murphy fired a long shot. That hit traffic out in front. Jordan held it in.
Nice block from Oduya again.
Now a keep by Skinner in front, and they couldn't get rid of a shot. An attempt by Jordan rolled wide. Murphy goes down low, dropped it back. Nash, Jordan. Now pass to Murphy. Mikel Jordan a long shot. That didn't get through. But the Canes coming on hard here early in period 2. A steal for Stieg. And he's able to get it ahead to Richards, who gets it in. The Hawks in desperate need of a change after defending for a long time in that sequence. Canes going to move right back in. Jordan Staal shooting. Crawford gave a rebound right to the middle, but Seabrook was on it. Puck held in by Carolina. Gerby got it knocked away, but they keep the play alive. Long shot, Hainsey blocks Seabrook. Rebound, Jordan Staal put it in front. Crawford reaching to cover it up. And the Hurricanes in the first 5 minutes of the second have looked nothing like they did in the first.
Oh, it's not even close right now. I mean, the home team has the puck on a string, and the Blackhawks are running around their own zone, turning the puck over. Corey Crawford makes a good stop there. I'm not sure if Gerby gets a chance, but here's the shot from Jordan Staal. Big rebound, comes right to the front of the net. Good help there from Brent Seabrook. Quick stick by Semin. Here comes Skinner. The shift before. And then it's just a mad scramble right after that. But just domination right now by the Carolina Hurricanes.
Shaw's going to get pitched. So Kruger and McClement. And now Keith put it to the boards, held in by the Canes. Perry on the other side. McClement's in deep. Stripped by Kruger, goes up the middle with the pass. Keith there, sending Kruger out into the Carolina end. Marcus Kruger pulled up, dropped it back. Roosevelt. Now in behind McClement for Carolina. Put it back around the boards. Lyles corrals. And the Canes are going to get out. Here's the dump in by the kid in his third NHL game, Danny Biega. He is just 23 years old. The first game he ever played was in Montreal, a place where he grew up. Wound up a -2 that night, but much better outing for him. Their last game against the Rangers, where he was even. But a long one, easily gloved by Crawford, and it's 2-1 visitors. Hey, Blackhawks fans and hockey fans all across the NHL network. Hey, you want to own a horse? You have a chance to be a horse owner along with Eddie Olczyk. Eddie and Hawthorne Racecourse teaming up to give you that opportunity to own a real racehorse. Winners will receive benefits of horse ownership, including an annual pass to Hawthorne and access to the owner's lounge. Put it on Olczyk's tab. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com to enter today for a wonderful opportunity. Hockey horse people.
Gotta love it.
That's all for you.
Gotta love it. The horse is so worth it. They're running on April the 4th, so hopefully get a lot of people signing up, and appreciate the relationship with Hawthorne Racecourse and, of course, ExpressBet as well.
Jordan Staal couldn't quite reach it. Gerby did. He picked it up in behind center, just missing Jordan Staal. Teravainen didn't connect on a pass to Toews. The Hawks in need of a couple of consecutive solid shifts after being badly outplayed here in the early stages of period 2. Canes get it back in. Gerby shot it off the side of the net to Hossa. Marian Hossa. Pass too hot to handle for Michael Roosevelt. And now Biega. Shot it to center. Lyles will dump it. Keith. Not taken down in the corner. Semin nearly stole it. Keith, a great recovery to tie up his stick. And now it's picked up by Hossa.
Every time he turned around, he had a red jersey right around him there, and you're right, Pat. I mean, that was a good recovery from the Blackhawks defenseman.
And if he gets away there, Semin, they got something going. Here come the Canes again. A shot attempt blocked by Roosevelt from Skinner, who then gets it back. Skinner for Semin, who couldn't hold it. Alexander Semin checked by Vermette, who separates him from the puck easily. And Hossa will clear it to center ice.
No fight back at all there by Semin, and might be at the end of a long shift. Look out.
Here's a long pass trying to catch Oxen a change, but Skinner was out there for a while himself, so couldn't make anything happen. And now on a delayed offside, the whistle goes.
Well, Pat, I had a chance to visit with Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook before the game, and they want to send out a very special happy birthday wish back in Chicago to Val Bravos. A happy birthday, and close friend of both Brent Seabrook and Duncan Keith, and we're certainly thinking about her and hope she has a wonderful birthday.
Hawks, we are almost 9 minutes into the period. Blackhawks looking still for their first shot on goal here in the second. Ron Hainsey goes around the boards and they clear it into Chicago ice. So Duya under some pressure, able to one-hand it over to the other side. Shaw.
That's been the key, Pat, here in this period. I mean, Carolina is just a much quicker team. It's not a lot of one-on-one. It's a lot of two-on-one situation. I mean, Oduya had two Carolina Hurricane forwards right on him. They had no chance really to make a play there.
Well, it's dumped into Chicago ice. Nicholas Hjalmarsson, who came into the game +5 in his last 4 starts. Hjalmarsson now looking ahead. Richards wants it. He's going to get it. Here comes Brad Richards. He gets the line. With a backhand shot that's blocked. Versteeg spins it back. Timonen. Versteeg from the corner. Chris Versteeg in his last 9 games has 1 assist. Here's the centering pass. A shot saved by Hudobin. He's trying to cover and now does.
Oh, the first shot of the period. It comes off the stick of Brad Richards, who I'm not sure if he was trying to pass it, Pat, or if he was just trying to slap it on net. I think it was more of a shot than a pass. He got Brian Bickle in front of the net after Versteeg gets it to Richards, and just a quick play. Looking for a rebound, looking for any kind of an opportunity, and a chance to talk to Richards this morning, Pat. Asked him about that beautiful goal he scored against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden last Wednesday night. Just a beautiful play of just having patience and waiting on Cam Talbot going down. He just threw it upstairs, and the lone goal of the game in that 1-0 win for the Hawks, and the first career shutout for Scott Darling. With that smile on his face.
I was going to say, you talk about ear to ear.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Here comes Murphy, a blast. Goal post. He beat Crawford to the stick side. Drew iron, and it went all the way out of play. So the Hurricanes coming hard here in the second. They're now down just 1.
For Hyundai, what to look for in the remaining schedule. Getting down to single digits. Hawks will head to Philadelphia for a game on Wednesday night, and 5 at home, 5 on the road, and look at those games there on the 5th and 9th of April. How huge are those going to be? You kind of thought that was the case, partner, when the schedule came out. The Blackhawks with a couple of games in hand on both the St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators. But those 2 big games against a team that has been playing extremely well as of late, that being the St. Louis Blues.
Falk, a long shot. Oh, that just hit Crawford through traffic. I don't think he ever saw it till he felt it.
I think he just caught it the last second.
A diagonal dump in from Roosevelt is jammed out of the corner by Saad to Taves. Hainsey trying to grab him. Sweeps it over to the boards. Keith kept it in. Taves against Hainsey. Now Keith trying to join the party, but it's knocked away, and Jordan Staal cleared it out of there. Boy. Canes were going for a change. Puck came to him, but they really didn't have anybody jumping over the boards right away, so no problem in terms of too many men. And now they're going to get back into the Hawk zone. Here's Eric Staal trying to dance on Keith. Take those slippers some other place. And Rask gets help from Eric Stahl. Lindholm. A weak wrist shot ticked away by Crawford. And a keep here by the Canes. Here's a backhand shot. Crawford had a good look at the bid from Lyles.
Well, Thursday, April 2nd, when the Hawks take on the Vancouver Canucks, be one of the first 10,000 fans that enter the United Center receive a Blackhawks recycled tumbler powered by Constellation. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for ticket information. Hawks have really had no answer for Carolina here in this second period. Turnovers, defending a lot, and Crawford having to make a couple of real good stops to keep this a 2-1 game. Carolina's defense have really been active, Pat, too. I mean, that's been one of the keys, I think, to this outstanding second period for the home team.
Outstanding is certainly more than a little bit true. 14 shots they've had, the Canes. The Hawks have had 1 in the first 12 minutes of the period.
And there's been some probably 3 or 4 A-plus chances.
Yeah. Well, the Hawks trying to find a tourniquet here to stop the bleeding, but now they're going to have a defensive zone draw after icing. Well, the Hurricanes, we mentioned, with only 1 win their last 7, but a lot of young guys here that talking to Coach Bill Peters before the game, we talked a little bit about guys like Rask and Lindholm that they hope will be part of their core 2 or 3 years down the road. Jordan Stahl's still a young guy. He'll be around for that in all likelihood. Nestor Schill, young guy, a lot of skill. Falk, young guy, a lot of skill. I mean, there are some pieces here, and one of their difficult areas at the moment is their 6-man D-core, and they got a couple of young guys they think are progressing really nicely. A kid in junior hockey named Fleury, a kid at the University of New Hampshire named Pesci, and they really are very hopeful that a couple of years from now, those guys are going to be a big part of their D. Here's Bickle looking to steam in on Murphy. A wrist shot block. Ryan Murphy is out of play.
I mean, I think when you look at going through a rebuild and from the goaltender out, you got to get that consistent goaltending, and then you need to be able to have that back end to be able to play a lot of different ways. And, certainly that is a thought process. And there you see Steve Smith there on the left of camera left there to the right of Bill Peters, and his family's still back home in Chicago, and when he's here working the bench, always great to see Smitty. Had a chance to work with Smitty back in youth hockey when his son Barron and my son Tommy played together for the Chicago Mission at one point. Got a chance to share the bench with Smitty, so always good to tell those old-time stories back in the day. So a great coach, and great to see him in Carolina get an opportunity after being in Edmonton for so many years.
About the Canes this season, unless they've had a tough year, but they haven't been bad enough. Here's a long shot stopped by Crawford. Rebound. A center pass. Oh, it came right off a skate through the goal crease, parallel to the line. Didn't miss by a lot from going in, but the Hawks remain in front.
Cannot believe that puck did not find its way to the back of the net. A quick little play from below the goal line. The next thing you know, the puck is going past Corey Crawford. I think that was Rask on the wraparound. Say that 3 times fast.
No thanks. Here's a shot by Gerby off the end boards, and Crawford will take a whistle.
Oh, just an incredible play from below the goal line. Carolina gets the puck to the net. That's Falk again with the chance, and then watch Rask wraps it around. Not sure if it goes off of Seabrook or not. Watch this puck come right into your living room. Look at that. Yeah, exactly. Went off of Seabrook and just right across. I mean, it just dances right across and doesn't even. I mean, you see Crawford slide that left leg there, Pat, coming through. You wonder how it didn't hit it.
Well, if it hits the back of that skate, it's going in. So here's a near miss, but a chance for Gerby and a save. Crawford point blank. Rebound taken by Saad.
You'd just be happy right now to get out of this period with being up 1.
For Joel Quenneville, this clock can't be moving fast enough for him. He and the rest of his team hopefully they can still be in front when the period ends, as they have been outplayed by a country mile here in the second, but have only given up one so far. But here's Gerby looking to add another. Save Crawford. Rebound taken by Roosevelt. Now a steal by Murphy. Back they come. A pass broken up Roosevelt. He's checked by Nash. Vermette there to help, and now Keith had to take it away. A chance Skinner. Oh, and he took a look for a pass to Nash, but the puck escaped him, so the Hawks dodge another bullet.
Yeah, great pick up there, Pat. That's exactly what Skinner wanted to do. And I mean, how often do we talk about it? You're a player at any level. You get that puck in between you and the goaltender 15 feet out. I mean, you got to think about one thing, and that's just drifting the puck towards the net. Hawks catch a huge break.
Here comes Shaw with a chance. His shot. Save Hudobin. And a tough chance for Hudobin to face. He's had no test so far in the first 15 minutes, but comes up with a big stop there for Peters' team. Nordstrom. Shaw, who kicks to the stick, gets the line. Dropped it. Seabrook was coming on a change. Bats it high into the air. It comes down to the Canes. Nestrashil able to clear it to center. Here's Versteeg to Keith. Back to Chris Versteeg, stepping into the zone. Shooting. Save Hudobin. Chris Versteeg got a lot on a rising wrister. Hudobin beat him with a leather.
Finally, some good offensive chances for the visitors, the Blackhawks, with a great chance. Chris Versteeg, you're right, Pat. He got a lot on that wrister. How about the chance for Andrew Shaw? Odd man situation, 2-on-1. Only had one shot in the period. Just get it to the net. Hudobin fights it off. And go back to that play for Skinner. He gets the puck in a high slot. And you're right, he was definitely going to make that pass over, but it looked like the puck actually rolled on Jeff Skinner. And with the opportunity about 15 feet in front of Corey Crawford. And he went back to the bench. Rod Brindamore leaned over there, and I would anticipate he probably said, don't be afraid to shoot that puck. Shoot first, answer question second.
All right, now the Canes able to get in. A long shot. Lyles into the glove of Crawford, who had thoughts of playing it, but now will look at a draw in his own end. Well, for the Hurricanes, it has been a long year. They've been out of the playoffs for a long, long time, but unfortunately for them, they haven't been quite bad enough. They're not going to finish in the bottom two. Everybody talks about the two franchise players that are available in the upcoming draft, in McDavid and Eichel. But unless they win the lottery, they're not going to be able to move into one of those top two spots. But it's certainly a team with head coach Bill Peters and a great general manager Ronnie Francis, who they're certainly not going to sandbag or tank or try to lose games, but they're trying to build something. We've talked a lot about the young core who will likely be their foundation for years to come. 4 of the 5 top scorers on this team are 23 years old or younger. Well, they have a lot of pieces here, and rebuilding is a time-consuming and often difficult process, but they're in the early stages of it here in Carolina. They get back into the Hawk zone, and a centering pass picked off. Now Hainsey for the Canes.
Got by the Roosevelt as he came off the bench there, Pat, and forced Jordan Staal to the outside. Looked like the Carolina had something going, but the Hawks were able to recover. A good play there from Roosevelt on Jordan Staal.
Now it's cleared into Chicago ice. Keith, a touch pass. Vermette looking for Sharp. He lost it. And now got it back. Hossa gets the line. Hossa's shot is blocked. Jordan in the way. Then Sharp to Keith. Looking out in front. He flipped a pass that's sticked away by Hudobin. And Eric Staal cleared his end. Ryan Murphy goes across, and it's dumped back into Chicago ice. 2.5 to go in the second period. A period that has been dominated by the home team, but they've only been able to score once so far. Here's Lyles. On it to Nash with a dump in. Shaw. Moved it to the boards. Stolen. Nash shot it across the ice. Lyles now picked it up. In behind, the Canes take over. Skinner's pass comes back to him. Tries again. Here's Lyles, a shot. Glove save. Crawford is loose. Came back in front, and Nordstrom able to pick it up. Battles his way back into the offensive end. Joakim Nordstrom with a wrister. Wide. And now Shaw working the corner. Only it squirts loose to Lyle.
What a great save by Corey Crawford off that redirect from Riley Nash, standing right in front of the net.
Nice pass from Seabrook. Timonen goes the other way. Bickle couldn't find the handle. Now he got it to Timonen. Centered it. Versteeg had to go back to the D-man who fired a long shot. That missed the net. Bickle helped by Versteeg. Richards out of the corner. Walks in front, shooting. Hudobin the save, lunging to cover. Anton Hudobin made the stop, then just dropped his goal stick, Hasek style, and reached to cover it up.
Well, what a great chance there for Brad Richards. And he actually had this chance here, Pat, with the stick of Antoine Vermette. He broke his stick. And you see the stick in the background there. It's got black tape. Richards went to the bench and he grabbed Antoine Vermette's stick and got the chance there now. And there you see getting a new stick from Troy Parchment. I wonder, would we give Vermette an assist on that if Richards scored with his stick? I have to call the National Hockey League on that one there, but a real good chance there for Richards coming off the right side boards.
Final minute of period 2. That's the best news Quenneville's had in 40 minutes. Here's Teravainen fighting his way in right around to check, cutting in center to Taves. His shot partially blocked. Now taken by Keith. He got it to Teravainen. A long flipper kicked wide by Hudobin to Dwyer. He was able to clear the zone. 20 seconds remain in the second. And it's picked up by Hjalmarsson, who put it on the stick of Keith. Hossa dropped it, Sharp shot it, and a blocker save by Hudobin. And that's going to finish period 2.
Well, not a lot of transition in that second period for the Hawks, but defense to offense. Seabrook to Taves to Teravainen, right around Falk, and the chance to the stick side on the Carolina netminder.
The Hawks get outshot 18-6 in the second period. It's 28-15 in the game. Corey Crawford, huge. He was beaten there by Rask, but only one shot out of 18 of that frame went in. Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Blackhawks will head into the third period up 1 on the Carolina Hurricanes. We get a chance to go down ice level with assistant coach Mike Kitchen, brought to us tonight by Acura. A tale of 2 very different periods, kids. What did you talk about to try to have the third period look more like the first than the way the things went in the second?
Well, the thing is, in the first period, we kept our speed on the forecheck. If we didn't have a pass, we chipped it in behind our D, and we kept our speed in on the forecheck, and we kind of backed them off a bit, and then we started making plays in the neutral zone, and it turned out against us, turning the puck over in the neutral zone, and they have good speed coming back at us, and we gave them some confidence that period of coming in on the attack, and they had a lot of, their appointment had a lot of shots there that we got to do a better job getting lane of those shots.
Hey, Kitch, when you have a period like that, you got to rely on your goaltender, and Corey Crawford's had a phenomenal season, really from the start of the very first game. What have you seen in him, and just, what does that do to your team when you have a period like that?
Well, he's been outstanding all year long, very consistent, and he's very efficient. And when you see him playing the way he is right now, his movements are very short and very controlled. So he's always square to the puck, and then that gives our team a lot of confidence here, and that's what we're looking for this period. We got to get a much better start at the start of this period and get the puck in, and we got to work them down low and the thing and put it pucks in where we had success. We're putting pucks through the paint there and going to the net.
All right, appreciate a couple minutes. Good luck here in the third, kids.
Thanks, guys.
So we get underway with the Taves line opening up for Chicago. Here's a shot. Oh, a redirect that got right onto Hudobin quickly. He was able to stay in the way. Now Rosenthal. Well, there it to Saad, who sends it ahead. This is going to be icing Chicago.
And this third period is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And we'd like to also welcome those viewers watching in on CSN Philadelphia. Got to expect that the coaching staff from the Philadelphia Flyers, Greg Berube and his staff are watching, and also everybody watching in on the NHL Network. The next stop for the Blackhawks will be in Philadelphia on Wednesday night.
Right now the draw. Rosenthal, time to take a look. Moved it to Taves. Rosenthal goes across for Taves. Now a steal on a rink wide. Back comes Lindholm with a shot that's blocked. To Hossa, looking at for Sharp. He speeds in. Sharp looking to get to the old shooting. Save, Hudobin. Rebound. Bounce loose in behind. Canes get it to Stahl. Eric Stahl, who's able to bounce it to center. They'll dump it in for a change. Here's Sharp getting the line. Centered it. Hossa, quick shot. Good save, Hudobin. Rebound, Skinner. Had a blowout. Sharp stealing. It was well covered in the puck deflecting up over the glass and into the crowd. Eddie, we've talked a lot about the great goaltending the Hawks have had all season long, and Corey Crawford going for his 30th win of the year tonight. I really liked what Mike Kitchen was talking about when he referenced the great question that you asked him about Crawford. And one of the, when you watch Corey play, it's very rare that you see a highlight film save. Why? His ability to read the play, his ability to be in position. Kitch talked about his economy of movement. That means he's reading things properly. So, you know, you don't get a lot of highlight film, but when you're in the right place, you don't need those kinds of saves.
Yeah, you're not out of position, probably in layman's terms, right? And what Kitch is talking about, and save there from Hudobin off of the shot from Nordstrom. But just the consistency. I mean, he used that word as well. Mike Kitchen used that word consistency, and I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, the goaltending this season has been a strength without question. Remember the start of the season, Pat? I mean, the Hawks had a tough time scoring goals. I mean, they just, every game, it was just a battle. It was life and death, and everybody was questioning, you know, when's the offense going to step up?
Yeah.
But the goaltending was there, and that allowed them to get some traction in their game, and then the offense, caught fire. I mean, the Richards, Versteeg, Patrick Kane line. Kaner was on an MVP pace this year individually for points, but the goaltending has been a great strength, and if you get that, you're going to be in a lot of games without a question. And whether it's Raanta or Darling or Crawford, you're going to be in every single game when you get that consistency in goal.
Now Bickle fights through some contact, but the puck then picked up by Biega for Carolina.
Good strength there. He rode off Bickle and then won the battle on Richards and was able to move the puck up the right wing boards.
Shaw tipped it in. Jordan Stahl back, pressured by Kruger. Shaw came out with it. Hjalmarsson had a tough play. Good job to keep it in. Now it's picked up by Dwyer. And then Jordan Stahl rolled to center ice. Oduya fires it back into Carolina territory. It was deflected up over the glass, so the whistle goes.
Well, Wednesday night, it's a battle for a playoff position as the Bulls travel up to Toronto to take on the Raptors. Bulls pregame live presented by Coors Light begins at 5:30. That's 5:30 on CSN Chicago.
Here comes a race ahead. Quick shot is stopped on Falk by Crawford. Rebound loose, and Corey able to capture the loose puck. But the explosive skating of Justin Falk, who, as we said earlier, leads this team in scoring. It's only 9 defensemen in the league have more points than this guy, 45 coming in. And he turns nothing into something right there.
Yeah, he does. He goes right around Duncan Keith. Looks like he's going outside and goes right to the inside. Dunk was trying to shut him off in the middle of the ice there. The Blackhawks do that as well as any team in the National Hockey League, shutting off more plays in the middle of the ice. And Falk went right around Keith, and Crawford with a good stop. No second chance opportunity. And a lot of their offense has come from the back end for Carolina here. I mean, especially in that second period. You think about those 2 4-on-2s that the Hawks gave up in the first period. Defensemen jumping in and trying to cause some discomfort defensively for the visitors.
Sharp couldn't get it out. Here's Rask, a quick shot, a glove save by Crawford, who holds. Corey Crawford, in his last 8 games entering play, had given up only 12 goals against, and 4 of those came the other night in Dallas. So he's been on a spectacular run, and really the Hawks fortunate to be in front. I mean, I think if you take the totality of scoring chances to this point of the game, a substantial edge to the home team to this point of the game. But Crawford's brilliance, particularly in the second, keeping his team in front so far. All right, here come the Canes. Skinner gets the line. Stripped of it by Roosevelt. Nordstrom. Now to Kruger with a dump in. Hudobin was going to take a whistle.
Hey, Pat, to your point, I mean, think about what's happened here over the course of the last stretch of games since the Blackhawks last played Carolina. So back on the 6th of March. Goal scoring has not been at the forefront. I mean, so it puts a lot more pressure on the guy in goal, right? I mean, 2 against Edmonton, none against the Rangers, 2 against Arizona, 6 against San Jose, which has been the best. The 4 against the Islanders is a little distorted because the first 2 goals were soft goals by Jonathan Toews. They went in, and you only get 1 against the Rangers, and you get none against Dallas, and you got 2 here. So, I don't want to say offensively challenged the last 7 or 8 games, whatever I just read off. But it does put a lot of pressure on your team defense and your goaltenders, and they certainly stood tall with not getting a lot of support offensively.
Well, I mean, we're well aware it's that time of year when offense usually is harder to come by. Jordan Staal's pass is broken up. This is going to be icing Chicago, but Eddie, I'm going to take it back. If you go back the last 15 games the Hawks have played, 11 out of those 15, they've scored 2 or fewer. So the team that for a while was up near the league lead in terms of offense, now, it's just it's not been as productive as you become accustomed to the last couple of years.
And going to add 2 more numbers into there. 88. The offensive igniter not around. And certainly hope Patrick Kane is feeling better in his recovery.
Lyle centered. Here's a shot. Oh, Terry couldn't get it through the traffic. Now McClement pressured by Seabrook. Kept in Lyles along with, good save by Crawford. Terry waved to try to tip that, just missed. Not an easy save for Crawford with the glove, but he made it.
Well, you mentioned Chris Terry, Pat, from our Xfinity Telestrator, a set face-off play. Watch Terry. He's going to run a little interference, and then he's going to work himself into this area to generate an offensive chance. One of the ways you can run set face-off plays is off a face-off. D to D, win the draw, and then Terry with the chance, blocked by the Hawks, but something I'm sure the Blackhawks coaching staff will go to school on here moving forward.
Puck rolled away from Jordan, and Well, they send it ahead. Eric Stahl with Rask heading to the net. Puck now finds Rask in deep. Stahl. Rask is in behind. Did not pick it up off the boards, and now a keep by Murphy. Rask again. Slipped it back. Jordan to Murphy, whose hot pass was too hot to handle for Victor Rask. Eric Stahl threw it in front, just missing Rask. Held in Murphy to Rask. He shoots, missed the net. Held in Jordan. Good sequence here again for the Canes. A long shot is off a leg to Jordan. He put it in front. A shot, a save by Crawford. Post to post on Lindholm. And finally the Hawks get it out.
A beautiful pass there from Jordan. Lindholm never had to stop that puck. It just went right off. And one time then Crawford read that beautifully from left to right.
Gerby got it knocked away. Hossa to Versteeg. Well, the Canes able to get it back. Dwyer for Jordan Stahl against Oduya. Stahl able to hang on, shielding, looking to center, picked off Richards. And Versteeg couldn't get it out. Here's a quick shot. Dwyer, that missed. And along with Gerby into the glove of Crawford. That seemed to be knuckling a little bit, and he's able to glove it and hold on. So 7 minutes have gone by here in the third period. It remains 2-1 Chicago. This Miller time brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, after an assist on the first Blackhawk goal, Patrick Sharp follows up after a great play from Hjalmarsson to Hossa. Go to the front of the net, and Patrick Sharp's fourth 5-on-5 goal this season. A beautiful little redirect pass. Anton Khudobin. And the Hawks are in a battle here, getting outshot by the home team 34-20 with 13:07 left to go here in the third.
Quick shot, Gerby down low. Crawford rebound to the boards, picked up Teravainen. He's run over, but managed to clear the zone. Oduya to Taves to Saad. That rush jammed up by Jordan Stahl at center. Now Falk rolled it loose. Taves back into the offensive zone. Centered it to tip. Good save, Khudobin. And now it's loose to Taves. Oh, the whistle had gone. The puck was loose and appeared all the way, but the whistle sounded.
Boy, quick transition. Defense to offense, and just like the Patrick Sharp goal, Pat, Brandon Saad goes hard to the net. Jonathan Taves throws it to the front of the net. Great speed. Hainsey gets on the wrong side of Brandon Saad. And what a stop there from Khudobin. And yes, a quick whistle. Good break for the home team, bad for the visitors. Great chance there, but great execution. Quick transition. Taves to Saad, and a beautiful chance on the backhand.
Antoine Vermette in on the draw in 8 games, 2 assists as a Blackhawk, but he's had an even rating in those first 8 Chicago games. Now Roosevelt bounced it out of there. Vermette looks towards Sharp, who's checked by Lyles. And now the Canes start away. Eric Stahl dumped it. Into the corner, it's Lindholm. Got it taken away. Sharp couldn't advance it. Vermette got rid of it, and Murphy had to turn back. Hawks changing on the go, as are some of the Canes. Ryan Murphy gonna leave it for Jeff Skinner with a dump in. Seabrook up the board. Shaw couldn't get it out. Oh, yes, he did. That was an attempted keep by Jordan, but the puck went outside, so the whistle goes.
Well, time now for our BMO Harris Bank check replay. Teuvo Teravainen takes a hit from Justin Falk. Make sure he gets the puck out of the zone, and Paying a price, and we were talking off air, Pat. That, that's one of the areas that the Blackhawks have put themselves into some trouble, is that they haven't been able to get the puck out of the zone on the board. So, that 5 feet from the blue lines are so important. Get the puck out at your blue line and get it in deep at the other team's blue line, so you don't give the other team an opportunity in that transition game.
That one is dumped in. Hainsey pressured by Kruger, who stripped him. And now the puck cleared to the Canes. Skinner, he's able to move it out. Simmons slowly into the zone. Looks to center one. A diving shot block by Seabrook, who skidded across the middle of the ice. Nordstrom put it the other way.
Timonen might have helped out on that play there, Pat. Defensively, just got his stick in the right spot with Seabrook laying down, trying to block that shot.
A Richards steal. Brad Richards snapped it off, and a save by Hudobin. Here's Bickle for Richards, who was well covered by Falk. And Dustin Falk put it to the right wing boards. It's picked up by Terry, racing in on Hjalmarsson. Terry's going to try to buy time, ran out of it, had to clear it in. And now the Hawks, Hjalmarsson backhands the other way. Lyles up the boards, Terry. Able to clear to center. Now we're halfway through the third period. The Blackhawks' 2 goals came 79 seconds apart in the first. But not a whole lot of other threats beyond that for the Chicago offense. And at the other end, Carolina got an early second period goal from Rask. But without spectacular goaltending from Corey Crawford, they could easily have 4 or 5 on the board. A steal to Dwyer. Good coverage there by Roosevelt, was able to smother the shot attempt.
That clear went off the official skate. That's why they got that chance.
Now they're trying to catch the Hawks in a change. Dwyer back in to Jordan Staal. He walked in shooting. Oh, that just hit the shoulder of Crawford. Maybe up even the headgear. In behind it goes. Canes, Jordan Staal dug it out. Hjalmarsson took away his pass. Teravainen cleared the zone. It's going to go all the way down for icing Chicago.
Well, a slow change for the Hawks, and Jordan Staal walks right in and just lets one go, and a real good stop as Crawford gets a little bit of an adjustment. He's got his mask off right now, and that's a high, hard shot. Good chance there for Jordan Staal, walking right in.
So Rask and Vermette here. Rask won it. Jordan to the corner. Lindholm threw it right through the middle of the ice.
Another set face-off play there for Carolina.
Vermette got it to Keith. Put it in sharp. His wrister high and wide. And Lindholm for Carolina. Jordan will move right up the middle. Eric Staal pulled up with a long shot that hit his own man in the backside. Now Lindholm, a shot. Crawford, good save. Able to hang on to it. The Canes continuing to come on, but they're still down 1.
Well, time now for our Illinois Lottery. Anything is possible. And this day in Blackhawks history, back on the 23rd of March, 1952, Bill Mosienko set an NHL record for the fastest 3 goals by one player. 21 seconds. I'll let you tell me about it in a second, partner. The Blackhawks won 7-6 in a penalty-free game against the Rangers at New York before a crowd of just 3,254. It was Mosienko's 5th and final career hat trick. All right, partner. How was that the call?
It was great. I did the game on ticker tape.
Breaking news.
I was really good at Morse code for a long time.
Oh, you're going to say Mosienko code there.
Yeah, well, I should have.
Little 3 goals.
I'm just not smart enough.
Hey, Pat, quick little shout out. You got the national championships coming up for amateur hockey. A quick shout out to the Chicago Mission. Great AAA program back in Chicago. They got 3 teams going to the Nationals, the 2000s, the U16s, and the U18s. Good luck to all 3 of those teams representing the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago with the Chicago Mission.
Eric Stahl able to shield. He dropped it back. Jordan, a long flip shot that knocked down Kruger, but he's in the way, and Nordstrom will go back the other way. Rask chipped it loose. Mikhail Jordan now spins it back to Rask, who nearly lost it, then did. Taves, pass deflecting to Lindholm. Rask needing help here, and comes in the form of Jordan. Jonathan Taves kicked it ahead. Teravainen, hot pass missing side. Now Taves in behind. Career game 5-5-5 for Jonathan Taves tonight. Looking for his 500th career point in the NHL. There's been only one minor penalty in the game. Given to Kruger a minute and a half in. Now Keith had his pass taken by Hossa. A weak shot's going to be handled easily. Hudobin.
Well, the Illinois Lottery, the official lottery of the Chicago Blackhawks, wants to know your hashtag Dream Game Experience. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag Dream Game. And you never know, the Illinois Lottery can make your Dream Game Experience a reality. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for more information.
Vermette won a draw. Now Riley Nash goes up the boards with it. And the Canes get back into the Chicago end. Here's Tevin with a shot. He got a lot on it, but missed the net. And back at center ice, here they come again. Falk with a wrister, soaked up Crawford with no rebound.
Continue to emphasize how Carolina has really generated a lot of this territorial play here from the second period on. Their defensemen have been really active. I mean, no hesitation by the back end of Carolina by trying to generate odd man situations. That last chance again, another defenseman coming in wide looking for a chance, but no rebound given up by Crawford.
Shaw couldn't find it. Now able to pick it up. Clear it back the other way. Retrieved by Danny Biega. Brings it around. There's Nestor Schill, who rolled it to center, and the Canes dump it. Nestor Schill keeps in the clearing attempt. Four men dueling in the corner. Keith won the battle, and Hjalmarsson walks out. Biega chipped it to Lyles. And to Danny Biega, who's only in an NHL game for his third time ever. Here comes Lyles. There's been a lot more than that. The puck cleared ahead, picked off Seabrook. And Oduya sends Richards ahead. He looks for Hossa. Clearing it in. Brad Richards dropped it. Chris Versteeg stripped it before he could pull the trigger. And Rask coming out for Carolina. Cleared it ahead. Falk put it across. Here's a long shot. Blockered away Crawford. Eric Stahl brings it around. Lindholm helped by Rask. All three Carolina forward down below the goal line. Puck comes to Versteeg, who's able to clear it out of there. Quickly back in. Here's Falk with a shot blocked. And cleared to center.
That's some tired defensemen on the ice right now.
They're going to have to look at Eric Stahl with a dump in. Jordan got to it, but Oduya got to him with a big jolt. Came in front. Here's a shot. Crawford rebound. It's loose. Big scuffle. Came in front. And Eric Stahl's shot is stopped. He got it back. Eric Stahl centered it. And the puck picked off. Finally, the Hawks get out. But Saad then turned it over at center, so only a couple could change. Eric Stahl gets back in. Taken now by Keith. Hjalmarsson up the board. Shaw got it out of there. Down to 4 minutes remaining in regulation time.
40 shots on goal for Carolina.
And they had only 10 in the first period. Now a pass for Gerby. Working against Keith, who put him right to his backside. Hjalmarsson takes over. And it'll be dumped into Hurricane ice. So now Jordan has to circle back. The Canes finally able to move in. Semin to the middle. Pass it to himself. Couldn't get rid of an attempt, though. Put it in deep. Nash. Had it knocked away. Came loose finally to Richards. And Brad Richards able to clear to center. 3 minutes left in the third. Skinner able to step back in. Lost the puck. Roosevelt put it the other way. Now the Canes head back to center. Good back pressure on Nash from Taves. And they battle along the wall. Canes get it out. A chance for Semin. He spins. Tried along Clipper. Save Crawford. Rebound. He made a second save. It came loose and finally able to capture. Haynes, he got up on the play. Had the second bid that Crawford stopped. But the Hawks hanging on desperately. It's been all Crawford keeping them alive.
Professional grade saves, and the Black Oak goaltender has made a lot of them. Corey Crawford has been outstanding. First and second star of this game without any doubt there in that last chance for Hainsey. First chance, second chance opportunity, might have grazed the post in behind Crawford as well. But just another world-class performance by Crawford here tonight.
Falk off the draw, slipped in front, tip, save, Crawford, rebound loose. Cleared back to the boards, held in by Rask, winds it in behind. Oh, it came loose to Shaw. He slipped it back the other way. Puck tipped, so no icing here. Get down to 2 minutes remaining in the third.
See how aggressive Bill Peters, the head coach of Carolina, gets with Hudobin. Get the extra attacker on the ice.
This dump-in goes up off the netting, so a whistle.
Well, time now for our first Midwest Bank fan cam. Duncan Keith making a Hawk fan real happy as he exits the zone. And watch this little fan here of Carolina. He's trying to get on the Jumbotron, Pat. Come on, put me on, put me on. He knows he's on right now, so what do? You know what? Just going to disrobe here. Thought those were his abs there, but he's got an Iron Man t-shirt on there. So I guess you get on, you take off your jersey.
Saad driving, waiting, shooting. Hudobin stopped him. Rebound taken by the Canes. And here comes the counterattack. There goes Hudobin. 6 attackers, Carolina. Gerby couldn't get it through Seabrook. Now Oduya goes high off the glass, and then it's out of play with a minute and a half remaining.
Well, maybe a timeout coming here for Carolina, but a great chance there for Brandon Saad. Hudobin stands tall. And the face-off to the left of Crawford.
So it is a timeout, Hurricanes.
Well, while we have that timeout, partner, now it's time for our AT&T U-verse upcoming schedule. After the game tonight, the Hawks will jump on their charter and head to Philadelphia. And then home for a quick game against the Columbus Blue Jackets on Friday night, and then get back on the road and head to Winnipeg for a game on Sunday night to take on the right now playoff-bound Winnipeg Jets. And the LA Kings will be at the end of a road trip here. They're in New Jersey tonight. I know they were leading that game, Pat, and they'll be in New York against the Rangers tomorrow. But lots of action coming up for the Hawks. his next 7 days.
You like the fact those last 2 games you showed a back-to-back set of games against teams desperate for playoff points in Winnipeg and LA. All right, the draw between Taves and Stahl that the Canes get. Skinner put it back. Lindholm along glass. Crawford fought it off in traffic. Rebound into the corner, and Kruger goes up the boards. The Canes keep it in. Now it's cleared back the other way. Again, 6 attackers, Carolina, with 65 seconds remaining. Elias Lindholm with a dump in. Retrieved by Hjalmarsson. He's checked right away. Eric Stahl came up with it. Nordstrom stepped into him. They continue to battle away in the corner. It came loose. Skinner. His shot blocked. Taves. Rebound Nordstrom. Cleared it to center. Open net for Shaw. Andrew Shaw will finish it for the Hawks with his second goal of the game. And the Hawks will escape with a victory tonight.
Boy, a couple of real good looks for the home team. And the huge shot block, as you mentioned, Pat, by Jonathan Taves. Would anticipate him getting an assist on that because Nordstrom got it to Shaw, and then the puck ended up in the back of the net. Well, the Hawks will certainly skate out of here with 2 points and be happy about that, but giving up 44 shots in this game, better be tipping their helmets to their goaltender, because the only reason they're in this game and have won this game was because of the guy in goal.
Centering pass here, came back to the line. Jordan shot deflecting, never got through. 20 left. Hossa is checked on the boards. Goes the other way. Viegas pass wind up back in the corner. The clock winding down, and the Blackhawks fans in attendance on their feet cheering a victory. But I think you could put in the category of a fortunate victory for the Blackhawks. Eddie said it. There's the first and the second and the third star getting congratulations for his 4th 30-win season. He gets his 30th win in his 50th appearance of the year. Career victory 750 for the guy you just saw, Joel Quenneville. He's happy to get 2 points. Probably not happy with the way things went, but he wins at 3-1.